But we are going to be going to the gameplay here in just a moment, I believe, and we're seeing it live now. Weems, he's sticking with the tried and true Samus, and Lief with Dr. Mario. Oh, baby, I love this. I love to see this.
This might be a better combination too, compared to Pyra and Mithra and Cloud, because Mario can also get some distance with his fireballs. Hopefully, Dr. Mario also has those, and I'm not misspeaking again.
He has
but
pills instead of fireballs, which I think, definitely, sensitive in today's, climate. But a lot of fun. And Weems, a very rare SD.
Wow. Okay.
We do not see that very often from him.
No.
But now Lief with the early SOG lead, and he's only at 66%, but it looks like Weems is going to do his best to make up for it here. Dr. Mario, and really strong all-around character, very, jack of all trades type of vibe. Decent offense, decent defense. Doesn't really excel, but that might be exactly what he needs to take down Samus here. Just, a very solid combination of abilities. And
that
just
was a close recover.
Man. Really good recovery there. I honestly wasn't sure he was going to make it. Yeah.
And now we're even. Once again, this is looking like anybody's game, and that's really exciting. This is gonna, I think, be stretched out a little bit longer than our previous matches, but
I agree. It's going to be very curious to see, how aggressive Lief is here. Is he going to try and keep the pressure on Samus? He can't really afford to sit back with all the, the arsenal projectiles that Samus has. But again, Samus, a lot of, close range capabilities, firepower. It's going to be tough. I like this little kind of hit and run style that Lief is going for right now. Staying very mobile, jumping in and out, getting those hits in, and then getting quickly back out of range. Using a great job with the pills also.
Yeah, he's observing what Samus is doing and making sure he can jump out of the way before it happens. And I think that's something that Deez was kind of lacking in that department. Also, just kind of want to appreciate the randomization here with Lief being a character from Animal Crossing, and we're also on an Animal Crossing map. I think that was wonderfully done. Thank you, random map generator.
So
this is looking good for Lief.
When you first said Lief is a character from Animal Crossing, I was going to say, man, I don't remember Dr. Mario being in Animal Crossing. And then I remember that Lief, like the name, is actually in Animal Crossing. But Lief, putting pressure on the Weems that we have not seen yet. He's at 150% and will get sent there, but they're both down to their last stock, and things are heating up a little bit.
Dr. Mario's kind of giving Weems a taste of their own medicine on behalf of Deez, I think. That's what I have in my brain going.
I want to be upset about that pun, but it was really good.
You can't. I don't think you can. I really don't think you can.
Lief doing, he's trying his best to, not get too into Samus's range here. Using those pills to zone a little bit, but you can't just afford to keep sitting back. He finally gets Weems off stage and a great edge guard.
Lief takes the win for this match. There you go.
Wow. So just like that, we see Weems drop his first game of the showcase. Lief is out here. That Dr. Mario pick is no joke.
That was good.
100%. I think a lot of it has to do with that SD really early, right? Definitely probably threw Weems off his rhythm a little bit. And then, playing from behind the whole game, Lief just had to not basically give up the lead, which he did a really good job of. But he was great with those pills. Really, really solid edge guarding, good with spacing out the pills that just kind of fall over the edge of the map. And then, as you saw, that last kill, jumping off and using that up B to get the finishing blow on Samus. Very, very strong gameplay there. And now this brings up a question that we haven't really had to think of yet. Does Weems counterpick? Right? Does he pick a new character? Does he move on from Samus? It's gotten him this far, but I don't know. Maybe it's just not a great matchup for Dr. Mario. What do you think?
I'm thinking I want to see what Weems can do with somebody else, but I also think it might be to their advantage to play it safe. Maybe we'll get I just want to see some rage, some fury, but I maybe Dr. Mario or Leaf is just a little bit too clever for Weems. So we'll see what happens. Hoping for a character change and maybe give Mario a taste of their own medicine. But I have to stop with the puns. I think they're getting a
It
little
was
cringy.
great the first time. You can't be
Yeah,
forcing them.
I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, I'm gonna, yeah.
No, I totally agree. I think Dr. Mario, you know, I've seen some really good Dr. Marios in my day. You got to be good at the game to be really good at Dr. Mario. It's not that he's a difficult character to learn by any means, right? But it's really hard to play Dr. Mario better than other players play other characters, right? If that makes sense. Like it
Right.
has a very high like learning curve, a really high skill gap.
Hmm.
So it is really scary to come across a very talented Dr. Mario player, and maybe picking a character that can do a little bit more against that kind of all around type character. I know I said it earlier, but a type of like rush down character that doesn't allow Leaf to keep that spacing, keep that
Hmm.
gameplay. Something like a fox, a wolf, a sheik.
Chic.
Um, Sheik for sure, 100%.
Hmm.
But we'll see right here if he did get a counter pick, and no, Weems is going to be
I
sticking with Samus.
think we tried to almost have some brag bucks exchanged in the chat. Looks like Keenan, you may have lost there those 200 brag bucks.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I
this
don't
is
know who
cool.
Keenan
Samus is
was
playing
throwing
it
him up
safe.
against, but
Yeah.
yeah, and I honestly, the best pick is always going to be the character you're best with, right? Regardless of matchups and everything like that. Obviously, you want to have a diverse arsenal of characters so that you can counterpick and feel comfortable with that. But if you don't, play with who you know. There is really, a game like Smash is balanced enough where you can beat any character with any character, right? There's no hard counters. So definitely be
I
interesting
might
to
have
see
to
here, and we're seeing another fairly even matchup.
definitely. Mario's still doing pretty good at staying with the projectiles and using their shield, which is definitely ideal when playing against Samus or Weems specifically. Hoping to see one of the clever moves again where maybe Samus or Dr. Mario falls off the edge and they just do a smash down and send him flying over the edge. Because that I always feel so good when I see those, and I'm glad we got to see one in the last round.
Absolutely, and
Could
we're
this
just
be it?
seeing
Oh,
it's close.
not quite.
Yeah, both these players really good at their recoveries. We saw a brave recovery from Lief earlier, just going right back onto the stage in the face of Weems, which I personally don't think Weems was really expecting. But we're a huge back and forth going on here, and both these characters, lack enough of the firepower to send in those earlier hundreds.
Right.
Oh,
Oh, and there
masterful
it is!
reflect
I
and edge guard.
got it!
Wow. Leaf punishing Weems there. And now, Weems not necessarily in a horrible position. Definitely can get an easy send here, especially if he doesn't take any percent damage, pretty much even, but he does need to pick up the stock. Oh, and that
Mhm.
won't quite do it. Going for the rocket won't hit.
Oh, and that recovery just
But
it wasn't enough.
it fell a little bit short, and that is definitely one of the issues with Mario and Dr. Mario is they can really struggle off stage, especially
Yeah.
against projectile characters, right?
Yep. Absolutely. But it's good to see we're back. We're kind of even. I want to see something new, something like a little bit different here. I wonder if we're gonna maybe see that. I think my favorite move from Samus is her grapple, and I'm surprised maybe we're not seeing that as much because I think that could be very useful in bringing Mario in and using that to Samus's advantage.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good point. Her grapple is such a strong move with her toolkit, and being able to grab from such a long range is a huge asset, especially with how Leaf is playing. Getting some chip shots in and then quickly getting out. It's surprising to
Right.
see Weems not take a bigger advantage of that.
Yeah. She just needs to, or Weems just needs to hold Leaf down and then get in a few solid good hits and could put Samus or Weems in the lead.
Yeah, and a great dodge there by Leaf to get Weems off stage, and now it's all about the edge guard, but a big
Yeah,
shot from that
yeah,
charged
yeah.
projectile to get himself some space to recover.
I want to put in some brags and see if we're gonna see another smackdown off the edge of the ledge. Ah, it went
Wow,
up.
that's gonna send. I
Yeah,
didn't think that had quite enough firepower to get there, but maybe some poor DI, and now Weems down to his last stock once again. And Leaf really preventing Weems from playing the way he wants to play. We saw it in that first matchup with Weems between D's. But Weems loves to use those projectiles to just apply constant pressure right to his opponent, and Leaf is not falling for it, and he's using projectiles of his own to
right.
really
And
counteract the usefulness of those.
I feel like at this point Weems is getting scared and isn't wanting to like come in and close and do like close attacks like Dr. Mario or Lief is doing. Because I think that's maybe what Samus needs to do now to have a little change of pace and get the advantage.
Oh, and a great recovery there. I love the mind
Ah,
games that come, and Weems able to
1 to
pick up
1.
the second stock on Dr. Mario. They're still not out of the woods yet. At 120%, they're gonna have to play very, very carefully here. If I'm them, I'm definitely trying to keep my space, but they're playing a lot braver than I would. They're getting right in the face of Mario, trying to go
And
for the
it's not
finish.
enough for
Oh
Lief.
my
Oh,
gosh!
wow.
Wow, Weems at 120% down a stock, able to
Crazy.
come from behind and win that. That was an incredible comeback there for Weems.
Definitely. Now is the
Unbelievable.
question, do either Weems or Lief decide to change their character? Because now
You
they're, I
know,
feel like at this point, too evenly matched with who they're playing with. So are they going to play it safe or are they going to maybe spice things up and give us all something different?
yeah, I would say those if I'm Leaf, right? I think that I kind of threw that second game a little bit. I was in a really strong winning position. Obviously, Weems had some great plays, but I'm feeling like I should have won that game, right? So I'm probably going to
Hmm.
stick with my Dr. Mario pick because it is working for him, right? He's playing
Hmm.
really well. He was leading pretty much that entire second game. But also, if I'm Weems, I just won the second game with Samus, right? Like
Right.
I'm feeling
Right.
good. I'm feeling confident. I'm probably gonna rely on Leaf picking Dr. Mario again. I know how to play against it a little bit better now. I think we see the same characters again. I think we see both Dr. Mario and Samus make their way for this little tiebreaker.
Mm. Um, are you hoping to see anything different between these two? I think definitely Samus needs to be a little bit more hard hitting. Like Weems really needs to get in there and uh, kind of use their fury, I think.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Well, Samus 100% is they're a zoner, right? They use their utility, their tool set to really control the stage. And I think that Weems is relying a little bit too much on their projectiles to do so.
Right.
You called it out during the game, right? She has that great grab. She has those blasts in close range, right? Use them to take
Right.
control. Don't just rely on the fear of that charged projectile. And so I believe that you know Samus and Weems, I think they're probably my favorite here if they can just make that adjustment, right? Because
Hmm.
Dr. Mario, they're not making a lot of mistakes. They're playing exactly how Dr. Mario needs to play, which,
No, they're being super
is
smart.
they're being super smart, and it's good and bad, right? Because playing a character like Dr. Mario, uh, it's not easy to make mistakes. It's a lot easier to play as, but it also means that you can't really outplay your opponent as much. You need your opponent to kind of make mistakes.
Hmm.
You're very rarely going to win a game with like an all around type character just by playing well. or by outplaying, right? You're really just kind of, you're just playing until your opponent makes a mistake and then taking advantage of those.
Right.
So I think it'll be definitely a very interesting matchup.
Speaking of characters, I want to know who everyone likes to main in Smash. I keep switching it up because I find different people that I'm really good at. But a
Mhm.
classic for me, who I always stick to, is Jigglypuff. How about you, Ryan?
Jigglypuff. I mean,
I love
I will
Jigglypuff. It's
say
just classic character.
100%. You know, cute, pink, everyone's favorite. Has that great voice. Also, Sing is objectively the most fun move I think in the game. You know, being able to
Mm-hmm.
just like fall asleep on someone else's head and like insta send them is insane.
Yeah.
Um, I would say I used to definitely be a Link main. I loved Link. I loved his toolkit. Um, it just felt really clean, felt like a really satisfying character to use, especially when you got big hits in. But I'd have to say I've definitely like transferred to be a Cloud main, which is a little bit lame. You know, Cloud super strong character and everything like that. But I love the limit break. I think it's really fun. You know, a great way to, you know, add an interesting dynamic to the game that you don't really get from, you know, every other character. And you know, it's very oppressive, right? You're really in their face the whole time. Really good at closing out that, you know, those gaps, getting big hits in. A lot of fun, and we're seeing a lot of different answers in the chat. Kirby's big.
Yeah.
Luigi is something I never see, but big respect.
Looks like
And
we're getting
here
into
it
the game
is.
here and kept the characters.
Kept the characters and that scoreboard a little bit off. It should be Weems and Lief both with one, but we'll get that fixed for you guys before too long, so don't worry about it. But yeah, we're seeing both those characters again, which, you know, I think we both expected. And now this is really the game that means the most, right? Not only is it going to be the tiebreaker between them, but it's going to show, okay, who's learned the most, who's figured out the other the most, right?
Right.
And really whoever's kind of can adjust to their opponent's play style, which have now played against each other for 2 games, they should have a pretty good feeling for that. Is going to be the victor here. And
And this round
Leaf,
seems to be
another
going
hot
pretty
start.
fast too. Yeah, landing a lot of solid hits. I'm seeing Samus's grapple a little bit more this time, which I'm excited about. Hopefully, maybe Weems listened and is getting to use that a little bit more now. I love it.
Yeah, Leaf doing a good job avoiding it though, and that grapple almost Leaf almost made Samus pay for it. It was a bold attempt. Leaf is going to allow Weems to recover, but up to 150%. A sneeze could send Weems off the stage right now.
Honestly. And it looks like Weems isn't gonna let Dr. Mario have it quite yet. Being safe with the shields, sticking with the projectiles. Oh, almost
Wow,
got Dr. Mario
that
off
was
the
a
edge, but
crazy turn of events.
yeah,
Weems was
good
going
save. Good save
for the
though.
gib and then couldn't get it, and then almost set Leaf on the recovery. Yeah,
Oh,
and both these
what was that
characters
all
do
about?
seem like they're just getting that charge off, but it's not going to
Oh,
do anything
the
for
hit
him. And up
his.
at
Yeah.
200%, finally, Weems is going to go down. Now it's all about if Leaf can get some chip damage in. How much can they get on Weems before they finally get sent?
Right. Oh,
And you got to
was
wonder what
that?
these
It's
stages are
very
doing for
close.
Weems. It was very close. But Weems, you know, the more platforms and the higher the platforms, the harder it is for Samus to really thrive, right? A little bit harder to, you know, really control the stage, but they're able to get it done there. And now all tied up.
Absolutely. Kind of stalled
A
there for
big
a moment.
shot
Yeah,
there.
definitely with the platforms, with Leaf just jumping around the map or the arena, they're staying out of any like projectile range, which I could imagine it would be super annoying if I were Weems playing this game.
Yeah, but Weems, this stock has really come alive. We're
And the
seeing some
recovery
aggression we
just
haven't seen
isn't
before.
it.
Yeah, great coverage there by Weems. Lau, a big advantage here. And this is the first time we've really seen Weems with a solid lead in this matchup.
Right. Yeah. Weems is In it for the win. Weems wants the brags.
Yeah.
Weems wants the money.
And they're playing a lot. Weems is playing a lot more aggressively than we saw in those first two
Yeah.
games, and it's paying off for him. Leaf looking a little bit lost, trying to keep the space between them, get in and out, but Weems just isn't even allowing that opportunity. Already up to 40% on Leaf on his final stock. Leaf needs to get the finish here on this edge guard.
I
Good
think Weems is
shield to
definitely
avoid the
trying to bait
cannon.
Leaf off the edge because Weems is caught on. You know, Dr. Mario doesn't have a solid recovery. So as long as Samus can get, or Weems can get Dr. Mario off that edge, then it's game over. See, oh,
Yeah, and he
it was
almost
close.
did it there.
Weems knows what's happening.
Yeah. But Weems is doing such a good job getting all this damage off and still on his second stock.
Ah, oh, it's always so close.
Yeah, that wall jump is huge for Leaf.
Yeah, it's
And
a
it's
lifesaver
really
for
one
most
good hit.
characters. Yeah.
One good hit for either of these characters is gonna do it. Oh, Leaf trying to get
Oh.
brave with that jump.
Oh.
Can't quite connect though, and now Weems in a dangerous position. Needs to be able to recover here. And he will.
This is this is dangerous gameplay now, and we're even. But
Ooh, we're all
to a
even.
degree.
Yeah, Leaf
Weems needs
still
to
at
put in a solid
100%.
hit.
I think Weems
There
buying
it
his time and
is!
he'll
There
get that hit.
it is! Weems takes
And
the win for
Weems
this one.
Weems was
Wow.
down 0-1 in games and down to like 120% of their last stock, down 2 stocks in game 2, and they came back to take that little series. That is quite the comeback. That was super impressive.
I think maybe they were just tired after playing against D's, and you know they just needed to give the underdog a chance with the
Yeah.
first match against Dr. Mario, but Weems wasn't gonna let him have it for those last 2 matches.
It had to be flexible a little bit. It was just, every single game, right? Every time you play a new opponent, that first game is always kind of about feeling it out, right? How does my opponent
Mhm.
play? Especially
Right.
with diverse characters like Dr. Mario. It's like, how are they going to play with Dr. Mario? Are they going to be a little bit more aggressive? Are they going to, hang back a little bit? What are they going to do? And then, like we said, Weems had a really costly SD in that first match, right? So maybe
Right.
without that SD, who knows? Maybe he goes 3-0 there. But he'll
Mhm.
still leave with the win, 2-1 between Weems and Leaf there. And we are going to have a break coming up in just a moment. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.